Hi guys, it's Aj here from Curly K Naturals. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing how I transform or line my daughter's beanie hats with a satin or silk material. As you all know, winter is here. It's not coming. Let them not lie to you. This is not autumn nor fall. This is freaking winter. So that we can protect the length that we retain during summer, we're going to just take a couple of precautions when it comes to our hair this winter. So one of the first steps is just lining all your hats or all your kids' hats with silk or satin material. The reason why I do this is because when you go and buy it, it costs a fortune. But if you want to, if you've got the coins for that, that's fine. If you just want to try this out, I got this material from the market for about £1 and the hat was about £5, so give or take £6. And the rest of the things I had at home. I start by cutting some of the material off because you don't need all of it. You just need enough to cover the beanie hat. I'll go in and just measure, or lack thereof measuring, just see if it covers the beanie hat itself. As you can see, it was a little bit too big, so I decided to just go in and cut some more. So here guys, I'm just showing you that if you don't have a measuring tape, you need to find the center point of the material. This is one of the ways you can find the center point. This is just by turning your fabric around and forming a triangle shape until it gets small enough for you to find the center of the material. And this is my attempt to find the center of my material as well. I just flipped it over and I am just trying to gauge at what I believe the center is. However, if you do have a measuring tape, just measure it across to find the center. And as you can see, my material measured about 20 inches. So half of 20 is 10. Quick maths. To be honest with you, I was kind of spot on. So here I'm showing you why we need the center point, because we're going to match the center of our material to the top/center of the beanie hat. This is where we're going to start forming the silk or satin material around the beanie hat. Please bear in mind that the material has two sides. So it has the side where is like more of the satin, and then the other side which is just the back of the material. So yeah, make sure that the part that you're sewing on top is the back part and not the front, because we're trying to get that material that our hair doesn't rub against. So once you have the center point matched, you go and tack, or you start to sew the 2 points meet. So I do about 6-7 stitches, give or take. But if you have fabric glue, this is a time where you will just apply the fabric glue to the top so it matches. So you'll apply the fabric glue to where you marked, and also just let it dry on the center point of the hat. And lastly, I'll go in and knot the stitch just so that everything stays in place. This is how I knot. I just go around in circles and just feed it through. But if you can't do it this way, it's fine to just leave a little bit of the string and just knot it that way. As you can see, the stitching is very stable. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to budge. So yeah, just make sure it's secure on there. Once that is complete, I'll go off and align the 4 corners with the edges of the hat. I do like to make sure that circumference of the hat is covered, because we do have to protect them edges as well. There's no point of having a satin or silk lined hat if it's not going to cover your edges. At this point, I make sure to cut off any excess fabric, but you can leave it till the end, it's no biggie. You can see that there's a part that's folded over. I don't touch the extra fabric that is folded over with. I'm just going in and making sure I tack exactly where the hat would sit. I don't do any special stitching. I just stitch how I know how to stitch. Again, I'm just lining up the corners before I go in and sew around the hat. So as you can see, once you finish tacking the fabric in place, you will be left with some overlapping fabric, which is perfectly fine because we want it to be flowy. We don't want it to be stiff, or we don't want the cap size to become smaller. So if you have the extra piece of fabric, that's perfect because it can expand, it can stretch and expand to your child's head shape. We're not trying to make the hat smaller, we're just trying to line it. So then I'll go in and stitch all around the circumference of the hat. Just no big stitching. If you do have a sewing machine, you can absolutely go in and sew this part. I'm just showing you that if you didn't have a sewing machine, you can absolutely stitch it by hand. And if you didn't even have needle and thread, you can use fabric glue for this part as well. You'll sew until you get to the tacked part that you did previously, and once you do that, once you get to that part, you just move on to the next section. Again, I'm going in, overlapping the extra material and then stitching the perimeter of the hat. There you have it, guys. This is the finished product. I'm just securing everything in place, and then I'll go in and clean up the extra materials by just snipping the extra fabric off. And yeah, be careful of that part that you don't cut off any of the stitched parts. But guys, here we have a lined beanie hat, and you can see that I didn't touch the extra rim around the hat, so everything's just tucked away. Here we have it on my lovely model, my daughter, who's my model for today. She hates hats, by the way. So there we have it, guys. This is how I make my lined, or my satin lined beanie hat. I hope you try it out yourself. And yeah, until next time, guys, peace.